So for now, I just want to show you some basic animation skill, like basic. So I want us to import this rectangle, and automatically it opens up in my timeline. Now what you want to notice is first, it automatically give it a name, rectangle one. You can name this to be anything you want to name it. If you click on it, your keyboard rolls up and you can name it. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to name it. Actually, don't rename. And now you see this part of this, it actually pulls up whenever an item is selected. For example, if you want to deselect this, you click anywhere here, or you click this back arrow. So if I click here, you see nothing is selected, and that pulls in automatically. The whole tab here that was appearing before now disappears. Now if you click on it again, it rolls up. See it? So that is how it works. Now for beginning, we're going to reduce this shape. Now to reduce this shape is actually scaling. There are two ways you can actually do that. You can take this icon, this arrow here, scale it up. Now it's easier for me because I'm using mouse. It's gonna be difficult for you if you're using your fingers. If you want to increase it by the size here, and increase it by two side. If you want to increase this down here, you can increase it that way. And that is that. Now the second way you can actually scale up is to select our layer and go to move and transform. Then you see this part here, it is actually the scale. Click on it and now you can see you can slide to the left to increase it, and you can slide to the right to decrease it. This is how you actually scale, and this is more easy with your fingers. Like if I should use my finger, it's more easier. And now there's another thing you can do. Now we have a rectangle which have a height and a width. Now this icon here is kind of a link. You can break it apart so you can scale each side that you want to scale. If I should break it apart, click on it. Now we have these two sliders. Now this controls the width and this controls the height. So that is how it works. We'll be using this later on when we'll be creating our bar charts, so it's going to be useful later. So this is how you can scale, and this is more easy for us when we are using our fingers. Now you see what we've done. Now if I want to undo all that I've done now, is to use this icon here. You see, back arrow, kind of undo what you've done. If I click on it, you see it's automatically undo what I've done. You click on it again, click on it, click on it, click on it, and finally it clicks onto the point that you don't even have it on your timeline anymore. And now you can click on this and it'll bring it back. See it? So that is how that arrow works. One thing you might also notice is these two arrows. What do? They help you to jump from timeline, from end of this clip to the end of it. Now if I click on this, it's going to take me to the end. Amazing. If I click on this, it takes me to the beginning. One thing that it also do is to help us to jump from marker to marker. For example, this is the marker icon. If I click on it, it creates a marker. You can see it there. This is the marker here. Now if I move it forward in time and I click on the marker, it has added another marker here. Marker just helps you to know where to maybe move a particular item to, so it helps you kind of know, okay, this is the point that I want it to start animating. So it just helps you to mark things out. Now this arrow will not jump to the end anymore. It will not jump to the end anymore. If I click on it to jump to this marker, so if I click on it, it says jump to it. I click on it, it jump to it. Now there is no marker between here, so it's going to jump to the end. See it? So this helps us to jump from point to point on our timeline, and also it also helps us to jump from keyframe to keyframe. We'll see that when we start doing our animation. And one more thing is this can help you select item, and it can help you duplicate item. If I click on duplicate it, but the problem is it's still renaming it as triangle 1, and you could just have to rename this as triangle 2. And now you can differentiate it between on select. This is the first one and this is the second one, and you can select this first one and say, hey, move a little bit from it. Now you see that. So that is that, and these are just kind of the interface when you start importing your item. And one thing you also notice is here. If you touch this can help you to increase your frame rate. Remember when we were creating the project to 30 frames per second? Afterward, you can also increase it to 60 frames per second. And you see the background we took white the other time. Now you can change it to black. Now you see the background is black. Kind of like it. This pink on black. That's kind of fine. That's beautiful. So, and one thing I will also want, I still want you to know is this icon here. You can see this. If I should click on it, it's going to hide this layer. I see it's gone. It's still there, but you can see it. If I should export this now, you're not going to see this triangle here that was here before, because it's going to export whatever is here, and whatever is not showing here, it's not going to export. So click it back on, and it appears. Click on this, it hides. Click on this, it appears. And there is this, I don't know if you can see it, depends on your phone. If you're watching this on high resolution, you'll probably be seeing this three dots, these two lines. It helps us to move, to rearrange our layer. For example, I can move this to the top or move this to the bottom. Now what you'll notice is that it doesn't affect how the items are being arranged here. But assuming this, let's click on this, and say let's change the color for, we'll come to this, but for the sake of example, don't mind me if I don't explain about this moment, but we'll come back to it. Let's assume this is on this. You get it? Now it obviously means this red one is on this. Now if I should move this on top, you can see it's rearranged. This is not on top, so it just help you to know which layer is on front and which layer is at the back. And that is that, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.